What is up, all of you awesome and amazing people on YouTube? The old Coot here, coming at you with another exciting video. We're on the corner of Date and State Street in San Diego. This is technically Little Italy, which is a huge area. I think it's like 2 miles or 3 miles by another 2 or 3 miles or so. Basically, the history of this particular part of San Diego is that there were a bunch of Italian fishermen that were fishing for tuna, and I guess to kind of sustain their lives, they basically built this kind of area as like a residential place, as a kind of market, so that they could go shopping, local businesses. You know, I'm sure, think of like the Wild Wild West in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s, I think is when this part of town was kind of developed. But today we're here, this is Saturday, what is this, May 4th, 2024. I thought it was April, but we're in May already. So May 4th, 2024. And this little street fair, kind of like a little farmer's market, it happens on Saturdays between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then I believe they do it all over again on Wednesdays, the same thing. But there are a ton of vendors, people that are selling all kinds of things. Like here they have plants and flowers. We saw a few different people that were selling like honey. Then there were people that were selling produce and like little trinkets, knickknacks, things of that nature. There's a guy, looks like from straight out of like Tijuana, that's selling leather handbags and that kind of vibe. So cool little spot, cool little place to be if you're visiting. There are some of the old buildings that kind of remind you of like San Francisco. There's new construction going on. So this street here is this State Street? Yeah, this is State Street. And then running this way, that's Date. So on the corner of State and Date in Little Italy, San Diego, this happens on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then I believe again on Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesdays is kind of more like the local crowd. And then Saturdays is kind of more like the touristy crowd. So if you're in any of the neighboring cities, like I think people come down here even from Palm Springs, I heard. People come down here from Los Angeles just to visit, just to see what's going on, you know, try different things out and that kind of vibe. So anyway, stay with me. I'm going to do a little bit of walking up and down the street and kind of show you all the different places that are around here. I'm going to try to visit one of these local honey spots to try to do an interview with someone there so they can kind of talk about what's going on. But there are a ton of vendors. I would say there's at least 100 to maybe even 200 different tents and booths and that kind of thing. Little pupperoonies walking around too. So if you do bring your dog down here, make sure your dog is like people friendly, other animal friendly, four-paw friendly. You kind of get the idea. And here's the church, by the way. I believe it was an Italian church at one time. I think now it's more like the Latin culture has kind of taken over more, because they're doing the mass in Spanish, I think. A little bit of Spanish, a little bit of English. There probably is like an Italian mass that they do. Not really sure. But anyways, come down here and check it out. Cool. It's kind of cool seeing the new with the old down here in Little Italy and how they're developing this area. Lots of apartments are available for rent. There's tons of places to stay. Good hotels in the area as well. You're really close to the waterfront as well. Like if you want to go see, what is it, the Midway, I think, is in town. If you want to go ahead and check that out, I think it was one of the U.S. Navy's premier flagship ships or whatever, and you kind of get an idea. But anyways, I'll be back with another video shortly, so stay tuned.